Okay, you do it. All right, it is now 7 o'clock. I am going to call the meeting. Welcome, fellows Toastmasters and honored guests, to District 57 2021 Speech Evaluation Contest for 2021. I'm Matthew Zajac, the Sergeant at Arms for tonight's contest. Thank you for thank you for coming, and there we go. Thank you for joining us for this exciting virtual event. Before we officially start the contest, I'd like to invite our Zoom tech host, David Dai, to announce some meeting logical. David Dai.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for opening up the contest for tonight. Welcome everyone. So if you still have your camera on, please go ahead to turn off your camera right now. So some people are still on.
Hans, would you like to turn your camera off?
Yeah, Hans.
And Matthew.
ZM, who is ZM? Ray, yeah, go ahead, please go ahead and turn it off. Ray Engan.
Thank you.
Yeah, one more to go. Who is that person? So maybe let me stop his or her video. I believe he is not the contestant, so that's fine. Welcome again. To view the contest properly, we like to spend a couple minutes ensuring that you have the ideal video settings. You should see only the speaker and timers windows when their videos are on, and not all the black squares with audience members' name when their videos are turned off. Meaning that at any given time, you are going to see only the speaker or the timer picture or themselves in the middle of your screen. So you are going to go to the speaker view. If you are not in the speaker view right now, please go to the speaker view. Now I want to share, so I have a whole paragraph here to read through, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to share 2 slides to make sure that we are on the same page. So hopefully you can see this slide right on your Zoom screen. So find this button, start video button. There's an arrow here, right? Click on this arrow, and then going to bring you to this screen. So click on the video, and find this option, hide non-video participants. Hide non-video participants. So I see Linda. Linda, can you turn off your camera? And also Woodley, can you turn off your camera? Oh, more people are turning on now. Right, so find this option. If it is not checked, check it. Right, one more time. It is inside here. Zoom page, main screen. Click on the arrow. Go into the video. So click on the video, and then come to here. So hide non-video participants. Make sure that one's on. Now with that, so stay on the speaker view, then you are only going to see the speaker or the timer or the Toastmaster of tonight at any given time. With that, during the whole contest, it is incredibly important that everyone is muted. Make sure your audio is muted all the time. And also your video, your camera is off all the time, unless you are the contestant. So the contestant can be seen and heard without any distraction. All participants should have been muted by default as you entered. And participant meaning each one of you, please verify that your line is muted. Otherwise, our co-host or myself, we are going to mute you. Also, while contestants are giving their speeches, only the speaker's video and timer's video are allowed by Toastmasters International to be turned on. So we just talked about that. Do not project visual or verbal cheering support of a contestant at any given time during the whole contest. So you are not going to name yourself, oh, I'm cheering for this contestant or that contestant. So please do not do that. If you do that, so then maybe you are going to drop out of this contest. We'll remind individuals to turn their video off once if you turn it on. So we are going to turn you off anyway, right? So fail to stop your video may mean that your video will be turned off by the tech host and you will be unable to turn it back on through the remainder of the contest. So that is the Zoom feature, right? When your video is turned off by somebody, you cannot turn it back on. No photographers, photograph, screenshots, or video recordings are allowed during the contestant speeches, except with advanced approval from the contest chair. So we'll be recording a selected portion of the contest. Actually, tonight, we are going to record the whole duration of the contest. Now, if you have any technical questions, please send myself, the tech host, a message. Actually, the chat window is turned off right now. If you have any question, so you can raise your hand or we can communicate through the other channel. With that, now please join me welcoming our district contest chair, Wayne Locke. I'm going to stop sharing. Wayne, where are you?
Welcome, Toastmasters from near and far. Before we begin, I want to recognize the dignitaries who have joined us today. Let me check the list. If you are a district dignitary, that's going to be announced, and I will give you a proper time to do so. Please turn on your video and wave. Beth Bohofer, District Director. Program Quality Director, George Marshall. Ed Cullen, Public Relations Manager. Lisa Fairchild, District TLI Dean. Randy Ellington, Past District Director. Ashley Harkness, Past District Governor. And I think I would hear Jim Doyle. Are you on the line tonight?
Jim Doyle, Past District Governor. I'm on the phone. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
We also want to recognize the various District 57 dignitaries of this particular program year 2020 and 21. We have 9 dedicated division directors. We have 34 audacious area directors. In addition, they had help from appointed roles such as and chair positions. So if you have such position for District 57 Toastmasters in program year 2020-21, please turn on your video and wave. Thank you so very much for you being here and to make this contest season successful and this program year successful. Thank you. Speech contests are an important part of Toastmasters education program. They provide an opportunity for Toastmasters to gain speaking experience, as well as an opportunity for other Toastmasters to learn by observing proficient speakers. So thank you all for joining this virtual international speech contest. Our contest Toastmaster this evening is Albert Mo. Albert is a District 57's 2020 International Speech Contest champion. He's a distinguished Toastmaster, which is the highest designation for Toastmaster education level, and also a member of the Starshares Toastmasters Club 5067 in Division I, which I might want to add, has already achieved the President Distinguished status. Please help me to welcome our contest Toastmaster this evening, Sir Albert Mo.
Thank you, our Honorable Contest Chair, Wayne Locke. Welcome, everyone. I will begin with an overview of the International Speech Contest procedures. For the benefit of our guests and newer members. Before we begin the contest, let's check in with our Chief Judge, Hans Thoma. Mr. Chief Judge, have all the contestants, judges, timers, and ballot counters been briefed and are ready?
Yes, indeed they are.
Thank you. Thank you, Chief Judge. In this contest, we will hear an original speech from each contestant. There will be 1 minute of silence after each contestant for the judges to mark their ballots. After the final contestant, I will ask for silence until the judges are finished ranking the contestants and the judges submit their ballots. I will introduce each contestant in the same way. I will ask contestant number, can you hear me and see the timer? Once they respond, yes, I can hear you and see the timer. I will then introduce them. To eliminate any perception of bias, I will introduce each contestant by saying contestant number, name, speech title, and name. The speaking order has been chosen randomly, and I will announce the order now. In fact, I will announce them twice, so you have enough time to jot them down. Contestant number 1, Ray Engan. Number 2, Shannon. Number 3, Justin Paras. Number 4, Arun Samson. Number 5, Jana Lannen. Number 6, Jeanne Schwass. Number 7, Arun Kumar. Number 8, Harry Candadai. Number 9, Carroll. Let me repeat one more time. Contestant number 1, Ray Engan. Number 2, Shannon. Number 3, Justin Paras. Number 4, Arun Samson. Number 5, Jana Lannen. Number 6, Jeanne Schwass. Number 7, Arun Kumar. Number 8, Harry Candadai. Number 9, Carroll. Are we ready? Oh,
Yes.
I cannot hear all of you, but I would say it's time to begin our contest. Contestant number 1, Ray Engan. Please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
I cannot see the timer, but I can hear you. Now I can see the timer.
Contestant number 1, Ray Engan. The deep freeze. The deep freeze. Ray Engan.
Fear, it freezes you. Facing fear creates freedom. To learn how to face fear takes a teacher. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, anybody else zooming in? 5th grade school play, packed auditorium. The refreshment table was lined with little cups of lemonade. The smell of Mrs. Minagawa's 15-cent brownies wafted over 217 proud parents and their hyperkinetic kids, all leaning forward, focused, center stage on one very shy, very frightened 5th grader, me. All I had to do was deliver the final 2 lines of Shakespeare's play. Now, if you had a backstage pass that night, you would have seen my teacher, Mr. H. Full-faced, confident, we got this grin, eyes glistening with pride. On stage, my look, very different. There's 2 lines left in the school play. I don't know them. What do I do? Can they hear this thumping in my chest? It's really loud. I'm scared. Should I cry? What do I do? What do I do? What would you do? That chest thumping fear froze me and took me back to 1st grade, the last time I had chest thumping fear, the beginning of my deep freeze. See, in 1st grade, I was so shy. My mom used to wear wraparound skirts. And when my shyness would hit, I would just walk inside the safety of mom's skirt. Well, 1st grade open house, one of the teachers, Mrs. Carroll, happened to wear the same patterned skirt as my mom. I will never forget the sound Mrs. Carroll made when I walked in the wrong skirt. Everyone laughed. They looked and they pointed at me. Kids called me names. Don't remember them, blacked them out. The teachers referred to me as the quiet one. In 5th grade, I wore a bucket on my head, so you couldn't talk to me. But in 5th grade, Mr. H didn't see anything wrong. Mr. H saw a different perspective. Mr. H saw me as a solvable puzzle. From day one, hey, Ray, congratulations. What? Yeah, you sit next to Dan and whisper things in his ear. Dan tells the rest of the class, Dan's the class clown. You, my friend, are the class clown's head writer. That was cool. Street cred for being funny, never saying a word. And kids came to me. Hey, Mr. H says you're funny. Say something funny. I must have, because now I had 6 friends. Middle of the year, Mr. H raised that bar. Hey, Ray, I noticed you didn't come to the auditions for the school play. Don't worry. I saved you a role. You're going to play the lead. Chest thumping fear. I froze. Whoa, whoa, buddy. Have I ever steered you wrong? What's the best year you've enjoyed in school? This one. Why? Because I talked to more kids. What if you could talk to all of them? That would be very scary. But every day, in every rehearsal, with every mistake I made, his belief in me created an elixir called confidence. He made me believe that I was Bel Air Elementary's finest Shakespearean actor until the day before the play. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be sick tomorrow, Mr. H. Tomorrow's the play, right? Yeah, wouldn't be right getting kids sick. Then he threw me. Ray, do you feel a thumping in your chest? Yeah, probably having a heart attack. Ray, that thump, it's not your heart. It's your dreams. They're trying to show you what you truly love. And the bigger the thump, the bigger the dream. That day, standing on center stage, frozen, not knowing what to do, I didn't cry because I felt that thump and I remembered what Mr. H said. I remember thinking, wow, this must be a huge dream of mine. And I felt as free as I've ever been. I strutted to the front and said, Lord Shakespeare has created tremendous lines to end tonight's play, but alas, what they are, I know not. Curtain came down. Mr. H came and hugged me and he whispered in my ear, Ray, what can I say? You've said it all. And I'm proud to say, I haven't shut up since. Today, I live to speak. And I know that it's not if, but when fear will freeze us. I also know that facing fear creates freedom. And I had the opportunity to ask Mr. H, if you had one piece of advice that you would give to a speaker, what would it be? And he said, everything worth it in life starts uncomfortably with a thump of fear. Mr. Toastmaster.
Contestant number 1, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 2, Doc Shannon, please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
I can hear you.
Can you
I
see
can
the timer? Contestant number 2, Doc Shannon, the least you can do. The least you can do, Doc Shannon.
Due to heavy call volume, wait times are longer than usual. Thank you for your patience. This recording plays every 30 seconds for the next hour and a half. When I finally get a live person, she says, thank you for your patience. I say, don't bother. Your recording just thanked me 183 times. I wrapped up this call, fortunately, just in time for dinner. My wife made a Mexican lasagna to die for. She's an amazing cook, and I'm grateful. So as usual, I make a point of saying, thank you for cooking. She says, that landed like a slap on the face. How many times over all our years of marriage have I thanked my wife for cooking? Am I any better than that recording? What does my thank you even mean anymore? You spent 3 hours in the kitchen. I said thank you. I guess we're even. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, saying thank you makes us feel better about ourselves. But for the person on the other side of the transaction, it can feel a little empty. Saying thank you is really the least we can do. How much more is possible? I stopped thanking my wife for cooking on the day I discovered 3 more generous ways to show my appreciation. 3 precious coins of gratitude. I discovered these precious coins in an unlikely place, the warehouse section of IKEA. I'm wandering around looking for that bookcase that I picked out back in the showroom when I happened to pass a short man trying to reach a big box on the top shelf, and he's not quite getting a handle on it. So being a tall guy, I step in and I helped him get it down. But instead of saying thank you, he just smiled at me and pointed to a second box on the shelf. I helped him down with that one too, but you know, he never said thank you. He didn't need to. I could feel his gratitude from the spontaneous, unguarded smile on his face, and it felt good. He had me smiling too. Precious coin of gratitude number 1. He said thank you with his expression. Ka-ching. Now, I got my bookcase and I'm pushing my cart up to the crowded checkout. And suddenly I spot a station opening up, so I make a beeline for it. But just as I get there, I see out of the corner of my eye a woman who left her place in line where she'd been waiting to go for the same spot. Ah! What can I do? I let her go ahead. But instead of saying thank you, she walks up to me and she says, "Your kindness is the highlight of my day." Wow. She's not only praising my little act of courtesy, she's sharing what it means to her. This little action with a complete stranger is now the highlight of my day. Precious coin of gratitude number 2. She said thank you with her heart. Ka-ching. A few minutes later, I'm out in the parking garage, about to lift my bookcase up into my car, and I'm reminding myself, okay, use your legs, don't throw your back out. And suddenly 2 hands appear magically at the other end of the box. It's the short man come to help my rescue. He's using the 3rd precious coin of gratitude. He's saying thank you with his actions. Ka-ching! You know, I spent a few $100s in IKEA that day, but I left feeling a little richer. I had precious coins to spend, and I could hardly wait. When I get home, I sit down at dinner and I look across the table at my wife, and I remind myself just how lucky I am. And a spontaneous, unguarded smile breaks out of my face. Seconds later, there's a smile on her face too. During the meal, I share an observation. Jennifer, this eggplant parmesan is supernatural. I've never had a vegetable melt in my mouth before. You are a constant source of wonder. Now, I'm pretty sure that receiving that compliment felt just as good to her as giving it felt to me. After the meal, I spring into action. I do the dishes. I clean the kitchen with the same passion and expertise that my wife brings to cooking. And all day long, I keep it that way, so it's ready and waiting whenever she's inspired to cook. Does using all 3 precious coins of gratitude with my wife make us even? Not even close. But that doesn't discourage me. We're having leftovers tonight, and I'll be bringing precious coins to that meal too. My friends, when somebody opens the door for you or picks up something you dropped, go ahead. You're going to say thank you. But when saying thank you feels like the least you can do, say thank you with your expression. Say thank you with your heart. Say thank you with your actions. These are the precious coins of gratitude that will enrich us all in an ever expanding economy of love. Ka-ching. Contest chapter.
Contestant number 2, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Modem timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 3, Justin Paras. Please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
Yes, I can, Albert, but I need screen sharing capabilities because I have sound that I'm sharing. So if somebody can just let me share.
Justin, I just enable the share screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you try?
Thank you so much.
Contestant number 3, Justin Paras. The gift, Justin Paras.
This is Confucius. You may be thinking, amazing eyebrows. But I want you to shift your focus away from Confucius's facial hair and onto his words. Confucius said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." Fellow Toastmasters and guests, what would you like to conquer in yourself? What is holding you back? 10 years ago, I got a phone call from my good buddy, Brian. We had been friends for about 15 years. He said, "Dude, guess what? Jocelyn and I are getting married and we want you to be the best man." I told him I was honored to, but deep inside, I started feeling intense fear and anxiety because I knew I would have to deliver a best man speech. The part of me that never liked being in the center of attention was being asked to deliver a speech in front of 350 people at their wedding. I started to hear these internal whispers.
Giving this speech is gonna be dreadful. You are going to embarrass yourself.
I visualized myself under a spotlight in front of 350 people who were judging me and scrutinizing everything I was saying, like a pack of hungry all-counters. With each passing day, this fear intensified. I knew I had to conquer it. So what did I do? I joined the masters of conquering fear, Toastmasters. My goal was simple: learn to deliver a best man speech and not die. My speech strategy: say as little as possible and then escape, like I was Houdini. My first speech at Toastmasters was uncomfortable. Have you ever given a speech and you feel your heart pounding, your mouth get dry, and you struggle to breathe? I experienced all of the above. But over the following months, my confidence grew because I was learning more about public speaking. And I also learned that Toastmasters love to clap. If you're good, and even if you are not so good. It was the encouragement that kept me going. People would tell me I was improving, and I was, speaking in front of about 15 people. But every time I imagined the crowd at the wedding, the internal whisper started again, this time telling me,
Toastmasters ain't gonna help with your best man speech. 350 people, that's a different beast.
You can't believe everything you think. So I gave those thoughts the red card. Let's fast forward to 3 months before the wedding. Not only am I still struggling with the speech, I'm struggling with the best wedding gift to give to the couple. A couple's massage, an exotic getaway to the Bahamas, not an option. And that's when it hit me. The best wedding gift I could give them, one that could be truly priceless, is to deliver a truly memorable best man speech. A speech that would celebrate them as individuals, celebrate them as a couple, a speech that would entertain and inspire the audience to get highly intoxicated with admiration for these two special people and their life ahead. Everything changed at that point. I went from a really bad place where I was putting the spotlight on myself, where I was motivated by fear and trying to prove myself, to an ideal place where I was moving the spotlight to Brian and Jocelyn to celebrate them. This shift in focus, it not only relieved a lot of my anxiety, but it opened up a world of possibilities for how I could honor my friends. Instead of plotting to escape like Houdini, I would spend time sharing jokes and the most humorous and heartwarming stories about the couple. I continued practicing and getting the valuable feedback and confidence that I needed from my Toastmasters family. I was feeling so good about this speech, I called the wedding planner and I go, hook me up with a 1-hour speech slot. No, I'm just kidding. But my confidence, rooted in knowing I was doing my best to honor my friends, was growing, and it was silencing my internal critic. The day of the wedding finally arrived. The ceremony was beautiful, and then we were off to the reception. During dinner, the DJ calls me up to give my speech. And as I'm walking up there, the whispers came back. But you know what they were saying this time? You're gonna rock this speech, man. You're gonna be as smooth as a clean-shaven Confucius. In front of a sea of 350 people, the speech was delivered for my buddy and his wife, putting them in the much-deserved spotlight. People laughed at the jokes. They cheered and clapped during the sentimental stories. When I looked over at Brian and Jocelyn, the smiles on their faces said, there's no better gift than this one. But don't tell them. It was either that speech or a trip to the Bahamas. When it comes to public speaking, do you sometimes feel like you're under the spotlight and you need to prove yourself? Public speaking is not about proving yourself. It's about relishing in the opportunity to serve others through your words. Words that celebrate, words that entertain, words that inspire. He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. And you who focus on serving others through your words, give your audience a lasting gift. Mr. Toastmaster.
Contestant number 3, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 4, Arun Samson. Please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Contestant number 4, Arun Samson. 2 dudes, 1 firecracker. 2 dudes, 1 firecracker. Arun Samson.
When I was 19 years old, I was really good at being an idiot. I thought I was gifted and emotionally aware, but really I was privileged and emotionally not there. I'd keep a journal and I'd write entries like, I've been partying, life is crazy, but I'm so in touch with myself. It's New Year's Eve, 1995. I'm in a crowd of people in San Francisco waiting to see the fireworks. Now, there's a circle of cops keeping the crowd off the street, and I'm with my best friend, Darren. Darren and I are like fire and water. While I embrace danger, Darren tries to avoid it. I lean into Darren and say, hey, I brought this firecracker. We should light it and throw it in that circle of cops. Darren says, dude, that's a bad idea. Be cool, dude. It'll be fun. You be cool. It's still a terrible idea. But before Darren could even get another word in, I bend down real low, light the firecracker, throw a perfect hook shot over the crowd. It lands at the feet of the cops and explodes. Fellow Toastmasters, contest chair, have you ever done something so stupid that you instantly regret it? What did you do about it? As soon as I threw that firecracker, I pretend like nothing happened. But Darren and I aren't on the same page. He says, dude, the cops, they're looking at us. No, they're not. You gotta just be cool. Dude, they're pointing at us. Just be cool. They're walking toward us. Be cool. But Darren is right. 2 huge cops are walking toward us. One of them reaches for us and grabs Darren, handcuffs him, arrests him, walks him to the cop car. I'll never forget Darren's expression as he's looking back over his shoulder as if he's saying, dude. From that moment on, I go into panic mode. I needed to get Darren out of jail. But this is before cell phones. It was before internet. I didn't even know where to go. I managed to find the police station where they had Darren. But the lady at the front desk said, he hasn't even been processed yet. Come back in the morning. I wait in this station all night, do all sorts of nervous soul searching. I mean, why did I throw the firecracker? Because I thought it'd be amusing. That's not a good reason. And Darren told me not to throw it. I'm a total idiot. As soon as it's morning, I bailed Darren out of jail. The first thing I say when I see him is, dude, I am sorry. Darren looks at me with bloodshot eyes and says, just make it right. And when he tells me this, it feels like Darren is giving me a get out of jail free card. And the mission becomes clear. I needed to make it right. Darren was arrested on disorderly conduct and due in court 7 days later for his hearing. If the city of San Francisco decides to press charges, I'm prepared to confess to throwing the firecracker. It's the best way to make it right. So we both decide that I should ask my dad, who's an immigration lawyer, represent us both in court. So that New Year's night, I'm exhausted. I didn't get any sleep, but I'm out to dinner with my mom and my dad. I tell them everything that happened. I threw a firecracker. Darren got arrested. Can you be our lawyer? My parents are stunned. My dad says, is that all? Is that all? What do you mean, Dad? Is that all? That's kind of a lot. My dad turns bright red and blurts out, we read your journal. You've been partying. Life is crazy. And you're touching yourself. What? No, I'm not. Wait, you read my journal? Yes. Be cool, Dad. We're worried about you, son. Can you be our lawyer? Fine. So, 7 days later, it's me, my dad, and Darren. We're all waiting outside of a San Francisco courtroom. They call Darren's name. My dad goes and talks to the prosecutor. I turn to Darren one more time and say, hey, I'm sorry. 5 minutes later, my dad walks back. He looks at us both and says, they're not pressing charges. Thank God. Darren turns to me and says, good job, man. You made it right. I've never felt so much relief in my life. Friends, there's going to be times that you screw up in life. You may not screw up as bad as I did, but you will likely screw up some other way. As opposed to pretending like it never happened or shrinking in shame, just make it right. Maybe you said something that insulted someone. Just apologize and make it right. Or maybe you did something really stupid. Admit the mistake and make it right. Or maybe you threw a firecracker in a circle of cops. Don't be an idiot. But if you are, make it right. You won't be able to turn back time, but you might get an opportunity to make it right. 25 years after that fateful New Year's Eve, Darren and I are still closer than ever. He reminds me, dude, you weren't cool that night. But I tell him, dude, I made it right.
Contestant number 4, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 5, Jana, Lannen, please turn on your video. Can you hear me? And can you see the timer?
Yes, I can see you and I can hear you and I can see the timer.
Thank you. Contestant number 5, Jana, Lannen, peel away assumptions. Peel away assumptions. Jana, Lannen.
Bananas. What does the smell of bananas remind you of? It reminds me of Christmas. Christmas? You might think, what does Christmas have to do with bananas? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and esteemed guests, please let me explain. I grew up in communist Czechoslovakia, where bananas were available in the stores only once a year, just before Christmas. People would line up in front of the stores, waiting for their share of bananas. The entire town knew the exact date when the stores would be selling them. Just picture the lines of people waiting to buy toilet paper before the COVID lockdown. When I was 7, my 9-year-old cousin Maya was visiting us a few days before Christmas. That year, my parents got lucky and brought home a big bunch of bananas. Maya and I were jumping from the excitement when we saw the bananas. However, seeing how green they were made us real worried that they will not ripen before Christmas. So we asked my dad, how can we make these bananas yellow? Well, we just have to put them in a warm place and they will turn yellow eventually. You just have to be patient. 1 hour later, while my dad was keeping busy with wrapping the Christmas presents in the bedroom, Maya and I had a secret meeting in the kitchen. We could no longer stay patient. We want our bananas now. How can we turn them from green to yellow? What is the warmest place in the house? The oven. Of course, the oven. We turned the oven on high and put all the bananas in. It didn't take too long before we started to smell them. And so did my dad, who was coming to check on us. Girls, what's that smell? We could not hold the excitement back. We are preparing a surprise. As my dad looked in the oven, Maya and I were peeking behind his back to see his reaction when he will take out the yellow bananas. The bananas were not yellow. They were as black as charcoal. Girls, what did you do? Do you know how long I had to wait in lines for these bananas? Why did you destroy them? We didn't want to destroy them. You told us that if we put them in a warm place, they will turn yellow. At this point, my dad thought that the only thing we can do is throw away all these bananas. As he was walking towards the trash can, he noticed our disappointed looks on our faces. At that moment, he decided to give these bananas a second chance. He put them on the table and slowly peeled away the peel. We tasted them. And to our surprise, the bananas were delicious. They were sweet and creamy, and they tasted like victory. The epic failure turned into an epic success, and roasted bananas became our new Christmas tradition. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever worked hard for something and it just didn't turn out the way you were hoping? Failure does hurt. It hurts in our minds, and it brings out the cruelest emotions of self-doubt and disappointment, like seeing those charcoal bananas. However, Each failure has its own sweet spot, either a learning and growing opportunity, or even better, when failure becomes a success. Maya and I were not the only inventors that got lucky. Penicillin, pacemaker, post-it notes, these are just a few examples of inventions that came out of a failed experiment. Do you think that these inventors were going bananas when they saw their mistakes? They probably were, but they saw a different opportunity and they invented products that we still use today. Next time, when you think you failed, when you want to throw all of your efforts into the trash, when you want to give up, don't. Peel away your assumptions about failure. Look at failure from a different perspective. You might change your plans, but don't ever give up on your creativity and your sweet potential. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Contestant number 5, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 6, Jeanne Schwass, please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
I can hear you. I cannot see the timer.
Are you in which mode, Jeanne? Speaker mode?
I am in speaker mode.
Give me 1 second. Can you see it now?
Now I can see the timer.
Okay, not yet, not yet. Let me remove it. Can you see it now?
No.
Are you using computer or are you not using computer?
I'm using a computer and I can see actually a little picture of myself in the right-hand corner for some weird reason.
You need to maximize. I think that happened yesterday also.
I am in full screen.
You're in full screen. Can you, maybe you need to get out of the full screen.
Okay, let me try that.
Yeah, get out of the full screen, then you can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good.
Contestant number 6, Jeanne Schwass, find your brave. Finding your brave. Jeanne Schwass.
I was so stressed out. These 26 prima donnas that I was managing were about to drive me over the edge. But today would be different. I was going over to San Francisco to have lunch with my former bosses at our favorite restaurant, John's Grill. So I got in the car and started the drive over, and about halfway through the bridge, I noticed something weird. My hands were clammy. So I wiped them on my pants and continued to drive. And then about past Yerba Buena Island, I noticed that starting from the back of my head and moving forward over my face, I began to get hot. I mean, hot and prickly. What is going on? I thought. I gotta get off this bridge. This is really scary. Pretty soon, my heart rate started to increase. Thump, thump, thump with each section of the bridge. This is freaking me out. Somehow I managed to get to the Union Square garage. I parked my car, glanced in the rearview mirror, and the 23-year-old face that stared back at me was not the same face I looked at when I got ready in the morning. My eyes were bloodshot, my face was flushed, my heart was still pounding, and I thought, what is going on? I had to get to lunch. So with the 2 blocks it took to walk down to John, I was able to calm down a little bit. The first glass of Chardonnay helped, and by the time the second glass arrived, I had calmed down to pretty much normal. Now, although the symptoms had lessened, that impact that that event had on my life was really something that shook me up. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, what I'm about to share with you today is an experience I had that I later found out was my very first panic attack. Now, you may never have had a panic attack. You may get stressed out every once in a while, or you may be somewhere in between. Wherever you land on that scale, I believe that what I'm going to share with you today is going to be beneficial. Now, we're going to fast forward 8 years. I'm now married, a mama of 2 littles, and my perfectionistic tendencies kicked in big time. I began to have panic attacks on a regular basis. I got where I couldn't leave the house. In fact, I could not drive the 2 blocks to go pick my son up from kindergarten. When it got that bad, I knew I needed to do something. So I reached out to my pastor and he suggested counseling, which I decided to go ahead and take advantage of. And although it helped me expand my world a little bit and I could go more places, I still found myself struggling with the panic attacks every once in a while. And I didn't want to live my life that way. So I tried various things. I tried memorizing scripture because I'm a person of faith. So I thought I'll do that. Helped a little. My focus was all over the place though with everything I tried, and nothing was sustainable. Not until one night that changed my life. I couldn't sleep. It was 2 o'clock in the morning and I turned the TV on, and there on the other side, there inside that TV, there was a woman, and she said, "Do you struggle with panic attacks? I did for 20 years, and I've developed a program that has helped myself and countless of other individuals, and I believe that it can help you." Oh my goodness, I grabbed my phone, I called the toll-free number, I ordered it, couldn't wait for it to arrive, and began to implement everything in it. And you know what? It did help. It helped so much. And the first thing that really helped me was when she said something that blew me away. You see, up until this time, I thought panic attacks were happening to me. I thought that when I went to certain places, that's why I got them. So that's why I avoided places. She said, panic attacks are not something happening to you. There's something you do to yourself with your thoughts. Oh my goodness, that was a game changer for me. What? You mean I can get free of this? This is incredible. I got so excited and I began to implement not only what she had taught, but I pulled things from all the other areas that I had learned about exercise and diet and nutrition and memorizing scripture, and I packaged them up into something that I used for me. And because people began to see my life change, they started asking me about it. And I was able to help other people. When you have something that works, it's not good to keep it inside. And I knew I needed to do something about it. So I put together a 5-step program that I call Finding Your Brave. And I don't have the time this evening to go over every aspect of it, but I do want to tell you what the letters mean. So the B-R-A-V-E, the first step is to breathe. Second is release. Third is activate. Fourth is victory. And fifth is power. Now, you're not going to know what those mean though. And I can go over the first 2 for you though. Breathe. We all need to breathe. We do breathe. But when you're under tremendous stress, you tend to breathe more shallowly. And what happens is you get lightheaded oftentimes and you don't oxygenate your brain, get a little cloudy thinking. And it's really important to learn to breathe in through your nose deeply and then hold it and then out through your mouth. Try that next time you're nervous before a speech. Release. You need to release control. The funny thing is we think we're in control. It's an illusion. The only one who's really in control is God, but he gives us two things that we can control. Our thoughts, which lead to our attitudes, and those lead to actions. Pay attention to what you're allowing to take residence in this mind of yours. Very important to take hold of your thoughts. You get to make a decision today. And so what's it going to be? Are you going to stay in panic like I did, or are you going to move to power? Are you going to stay living in chaos, or do you want to live in calm? Will you continue to be a worrier, or will you be a warrior? It's up to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Contestant number 6, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 7, Arun Kumar, please turn on your video. Can you hear me?
Yes,
And
I can hear you.
the timer.
I can see the timer.
Contestant number 7, Arun Kumar, my role model, Arun Kumar.
Who's your role model? And who's your role model? My role model is someone I met 38 years ago in a small town, in a small hospital. I was this big, maybe little this big. I opened my eyes and met the kindest and the strongest person of my life. She is my first love. She is my first teacher. She is my role model. She's my mother. I call her Ma. The most beautiful word in my life. Sir Contestmaster, my fellow Toastmaster and respected guests. Ma could not go to any school or any college in this world. She could not read. She could not write. But she gave me the best education in this world. And this education is not from books, her experiences. She gave me 3 great lessons in life. Lesson number 1, always be honest with yourself and the people around you. Never cheat anything from anyone in any form. Lesson number 2, work hard every day. Give your best. You are not recognized what your race. You are not recognized what's your color. You will be recognized what you do every day. And lesson number 3, never give up. Life will throw so many challenges on you, so many. And it's all about to teach you. learn from them, and move on. Today, I don't remember any book I studied in those college or those lectures. No, there's no value. What I remember every day, my mother's education. Be honest, work hard, and never give up. Thank you, Ma. You are my role model. You are my teacher. Ma, I gave you so much trouble in life. When I was born, I gave you so much pain. You breastfed me 7 years. Yes, I breastfed 7 years. I'm that miracle child. And when I was a kid, I still remember I got sick so often. One fine day, doctor said, this kid cannot be more sick. I cannot treat him. There is no hope. Go home and pray for him. But this doctor did not know my mom. She's always strong, never give up. She said, I will take him to the best hospital in the city and I will treat him. Today, I stand here healthy and strong because of you, Ma. You are my role model. You are my strength, Ma. Ma, you know the value of education because you suffer in your whole life. You decided that my son will go to a better school and get education. But I was not ready for that. I was saying, no, I cannot go there. I cannot go. You went inside the house, you closed the door. I was shocked. I was shocked to see how come you do that to Ma. But today, when I am here educated, I realize how much you had cried that day, Ma. I realize your pain. You made me something which has value. Thank you, Ma. You are my role model. If I meet God in my life anytime, I will ask him one question. Why is he was not kind to you? You lost your father when you were just a kid. You wanted so much love in the life. You lost your two brothers. And I still remember that day when we lost our elder brother. He was just turned 20, a young dynamic guy who was about to conquer the world. But he could not survive because of world uncertainty. He just did suicide at the age of 20. Next few years, I saw you crying all the time. But one thing I never saw that you ever blame anyone. You accepted all circumstances. I still remember in 2010 when again one more tragedy struck all of us and my father passed away. I could not reach home because I was struggling with my own life. I was thinking about you and I thought, what happened to you? When I called you, your words changed my life's perspective. Arun, Ma, how are you? I'm doing good and I'm here to take care of you and your brother. Don't worry. Your father had a limited time here on this world. Everybody has limited time. You go ahead and fix your life. I am here. I put down the phone. I cried hours and hours and hours. But at the end, I was happy because you are there, Ma. You are our strength. You are our power, Ma. Today, you are old. Your muscle don't have that energy, that power, but your words and your voice give us energy. When I struggle in my life today, I call you and you are my powerhouse. You are my role model, Ma. You are my everything. I love you, Ma. Thank you, Ma.
Contestant number 7, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Contestant number 8, Harry Candadai, please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
Yes, I can, Albert, and I can see the timer too.
Thank you.
Wait a bit. Hey, Harry, your video is a little bit blurry. It's okay now. It's okay now.
Contestant number 8, Harry Candadai. Break it, Harry Candadai.
What's the definition of insanity? My daughters pounced on the opportunity. You! Dad, you can't gulp bowls of rice and expect to lose 10 pounds. Girls, I'm just practicing my speech. Well, then practice what you preach. Instead of rice, I was served brutal honesty. Boy, I miss those days when we could practice at clubs so they don't get to hear my stories. Most of them true. Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. That quote struck me hard earlier this year when I announced my goals. I will finish that book. I will find more time for my family. I will work on that relationship. Wait a minute. Aren't these the same goals from last year and the year before? I raced through those pages, 2010, 2012, 2014, 2016, 18, 2020. My heart sank. Sure they were. Same dreams buried in those pages. Books not written, businesses not started, relationships not healed. Days, months, years burnt. And amid those ashes, some patterns arose. Habits not conquered. Behaviors not overcome. Beliefs not shattered. Patterns ingrained over the years, cumulatively wasting precious time. It's like operating a speedboat with 5 anchors dragging you behind along the ocean floor. Unconscious patterns run our lives. Oh, I can't break that addiction. It's been in my family for years. Oh, I can't be loved. That's just the way I am. I can't start that business. I don't have the connections. I don't have the skills. I can't. How do you know? Our brains are hardwired that we don't recognize these patterns. We don't even try because we don't even know they exist, let alone break it. What you're not aware of can and will control you. No wonder. Same patterns, same results, year after year. Speaking of patterns, finally, our home remodeling project is done. So many decisions, big and small. Gentlemen, piece of advice, let the lady of the house call the shots and nobody gets hurt. One big decision was a grand entryway into our living area. Trying to impress my wife, Deepa, I laid out a series of tiles, admired my Michelangelo work of art. Honey, surprise! Her looks at it all. Why, what's wrong? Honey, this looks so dull, lifeless. It can be much more beautiful. Break the pattern. Michelangelo must have turned in his grave. How dare he invoke my name? Before I knew it, Deepa was on Amazon, picked out a beautiful medallion and said, let's break the pattern. Let's put it right here. Deepa is an Amazon master. It takes years of practice to operate at the speed that she does. Rumor has it that the Amazon stock tanked when we were away for a couple of weeks on vacation. Sure enough, the medallion brought so much of life, so much of grandeur, so much of beauty to the entryway because Deepa named the problem to break the pattern. No wonder all those medallions lay buried all these years. Books, businesses, beautiful memories, because I did not break the pattern of my habits, my beliefs, my behaviors. I wasn't even aware how they were keeping me from all those medallions coming to life until I recognized this secret. Name it to break it. It's like drilling oil. Find a spot with the oil and keep drilling it till it gushes out. And it's not easy. Years of addictions and programming and patterns, but every day is a new day to start drilling away. And one day you will break it. This year, I'm on a mission of breaking patterns to make medallions that matter. And thus far, I've been wildly unsuccessful, but I'm drilling away every day, working on my diet, one rice bowl at a time, disconnecting from work, one evening a week to help my daughters with their homework, waking up an hour early, staying up an hour late to work on my new business, daily drilling, medallions in the making. Fellow Toastmasters, what patterns are running your life? What anchors are keeping you from your medallions? Is fear stopping you from taking that next level in your career, or maybe jumping into that business that you always wanted to start? Or maybe a relationship needs to be reset, or an addiction needs to be broken. Whatever it is, name it and start breaking it. And don't get disheartened if you fall back. Pick yourself up and start drilling away. And as you keep drilling away, and as you break those patterns one by one, you will see a grand entryway to your life emerge. You will see every potential come alive as medallions that will decorate your life and define your destiny. One drill every day, and one day you will. Mr. Contest Chair.
Contestant number 8, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. Madam Timer, please give us 1 minute of silence. Our last, but not the least, contestant number 9, Mike Carroll. Please turn on your video. Can you hear me and see the timer?
Yes, I can.
Contestant number 9, Mike Carroll. Mysteries, Mike Carroll.
Fellow Toastmasters, I know you're sitting there looking at Zoom, but I would like you to remember, think about the starry night sky, the mystery and the majesty of the stars. The mysteries. Did you think about the mysteries of the stars? Like, how did it all start? I think we all did. This mystery, as a matter of fact, we have solved. An invisible show of hands. Who here has heard of the Big Bang? Almost everybody. The Big Bang is the solution to the mystery. How did it all start? Now that we know how it started, how will it end up? Asking that brings us to the new surprise mystery. Who here has heard of dark energy? A few. Dark energy is the new mystery of the stars. I am going to explain this dark energy mystery and how the Big Bang brought us to it in 7 minutes. Now, you've seen the stars and you felt gravity. That's all you need. The clues to how it all started is not visible to you when you look up in the starry night sky. Those clues are far, far beyond, places that we did not even know existed until the 1930s, when our telescopes got strong enough to see beyond these stars, far beyond to distant, distant galaxies. And we saw that those galaxies were not moving randomly. No. Without exception, they were moving directly away from us. And without exception, the farther away they were, the faster they moved, almost as if there had been an explosion. Aha, that is the key. Let us take these speeds, let's take these distances, and let's do some very fancy math. And what we find, the 17.8 billion years ago, everything originated in one place, smaller than a pinprick, but it had all of the stars you can see, all of those galaxies that you cannot. And as soon as it emerged, it erupted. And what we see now are these distant galaxies coasting on out from that first impulse of the Big Bang when it all started. Mystery solved. So that's how it started. How's it going to end up? Asking this question brings us, surprise, to dark energy. Now, when you think about how it's going to end up, you've got to think about gravity, because all of these galaxies have got gravity and they're all trying to pull on each other and slow each other down on this outward coast. That's what gravity does. That's the law of gravity. Now, there's two possible scenarios that might turn up based on how strong this gravity is. The first one is that it's pretty strong and will actually reverse these directions. Sort of like if you take a ball and you toss it up into the air, immediately gravity starts to slow it down. That's the law of gravity. It slows down, reaches some high point, reverses direction, comes back. Maybe that is what will happen. Maybe in the distant future, these galaxies will pull each other back and we will end up with the big crunch. Or maybe gravity is not that strong, always slowing, because that's what gravity does. That's the law of gravity. Slower and slower, never stopping, onward and out forever. Studies to pick between these two scenarios has yielded stunning results. Both scenarios are wrong. These galaxies are not slowing down. They are not coasting. They are not going to come back into the center because, without exception, they are all speeding up and away. Surprise! Remember that ball that we tossed up into the air? Imagine your surprise if when you first open your hand, that ball fell, but not to the floor, fell up, fell straight up. That is what it seems is happening. It seems like these galaxies are all falling up. Our physics did not predict this. Our scientists cannot explain it. Since this was first determined in 1998, the best brains on the planet cannot explain, how is this possible? What part of the law of gravity do these galaxies not understand? There is a mysterious force overruling the law of gravity, which is pushing these out faster and faster every year. Let's give this mysterious force a name. Dark energy. It's not dark, we just don't know where it comes from. And it might not even be energy as we understand it. But it is a fundamental force of our universe, like gravity is. And out there for those galaxies is much stronger than gravity is. And until recently, we did not even know it existed. But now we do. Now how is it going to end up? Well, famous astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson says that possibly this mysterious force is generated by empty space itself. Empty space. And if so, this force is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger because empty space is getting bigger and bigger as these galaxies go out farther and farther. Presently, that force is strong enough to push apart galaxies. But eventually, it might be strong enough to push apart planets, and then push apart atoms, and then push apart and tear the fabric of space itself, the Big Rip. Is this how it's going to end up? Shredded? Shredded like an old balloon? Think about it. And think about that the next time you look up in the majesty of the stars, because you know that waiting for you out there are even bigger mysteries. Thank you.
Contestant number 9, please turn off your video and mute your microphone. At this time, we will have an unlimited amount of silence until all ballots have been picked up.
So hence the room will be open for you and the others. The bed accountants, chief judge, the room is open now.
David, do you have any announcements?
Not yet.
Okay.
So the judges are sending their ballots.
Okay. So let us know when
Yep. Almost there.
Thank you.
I'll go to the breakout room and confirm with our chief judge, and we'll be back. Albert.
Thank you. During the silence, please watch the screen for announcements of incoming District 57 events.
So voting judge, if you have not submitted your ballots yet, please do so at the earliest.
Davey, are you going to play some videos or something like that?
Not yet. So we're waiting for the ballots to be finished.
Okay. And then our audience can watch the screen for announcements of upcoming District 57.
The slides, David, the slides.
The slides. Oh,
the
the slides.
If I play at this time, I do it.
Oh, I see.
I think most ballots already in. So I think the one or two ballots still are on the way.
Okay.
Yeah. In the meantime, let me play it.
Thank you.
Okay, Albert, so all the ballots have been submitted and then been collected. So you can go ahead to start your interview.
Thank you. Thank you. So at this time, I would like to invite all the contestants back one by one for the interviews. So I'd like to ask Ray to turn on your video and your microphone. Hi, Ray.
Hey, Albert, how are you?
Good. Please tell us the name of your club and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
You know, the name of my club is Toast to Petaluma. They always show up big and all these things. And I know they're cheering right now without hearing, but how long have I been a Toastmaster? Probably about 10 years.
10 years? Okay, great. I have one question for you. What is your favorite quote? You said, in heaven, pizza is cut in squares. Can you elaborate? One, why is that your favorite? Two, what does that mean?
So what it means, my mom is 93 years old and she's losing it more and more every day. And she called me up and she said, are you dead? I said, no, Mom, I'm still alive. And if I were dead, I'd go to heaven because of the way you raised me. She says, oh, well, what are you eating in heaven? And I said, pizza. She said, oh, I heard that in heaven, pizza is cut in squares. So that's a recent quote from my mom that I love dearly. And that's why I put it in there. That's what it means. That's where it comes from. It's kind of a tribute to my mom, who's 93 and still hanging in.
Wow, very good. Next time I look at pizza, I say, how come my pizzas are not square?
Well, it's a Midwest thing, apparently. Oh. Midwest pizza is cut in squares.
Oh, okay. Oh,
and apparently good. To my mom, that's where heaven is, somewhere in Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay.
Yep.
I lived in Michigan for many years, but I don't recall. But that's good to know. Thank you. And I'd like to invite our contestant number 2, Doc Shannon. Doc, can you turn on your video and microphone?
Hi.
Hi, Doc. Same 2 questions. Which club do you belong to? And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I belong to the Daybreakers. We meet on Wednesday mornings at 7:30 here in Santa Rosa, virtually at the moment.
Virtually, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been a Toastmaster?
About 2 years.
2 years. Wow. And I look at your profile. You said you do this special kind of musical instrument called didgeridoo. And can you explain a little bit more about it?
It's called a didgeridoo.
Oh, okay. I butchered the name. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. I butcher it. Okay. And you know, it's funny. I've been putting that in the contests in my description, and that's the thing they always ask about. So this time I have it nearby, and I'll show you why.
Wow.
I love it because it's built like me. Okay.
Oh wow.
It's very long and thin, so it's the perfect instrument for me.
Okay. How do you blow it, or how do you make sound?
You don't want me to do that.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. I learned something new.
Yeah. You learn that I'm not confident enough to play in front of a group. I'll speak, but I will not play the didge in front of people.
Next time you can do it especially for me.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
So I'd like to invite our next contestant number 3, Justin.
What's up, Albert?
Justin, how's it going?
It's going good.
Good. And again, what club and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
My home club is Citizens for Better Communicators Toastmasters Club, otherwise known as CBC Toastmasters. Okay. When I joined as a result of getting asked to be the best man, I thought I would just do Toastmasters up until the wedding, but I learned so much and saw the value of continuing with it. I've made a lot of friendships, lifelong friendships. And so I haven't been able to stop ever since.
Wow, that's how many years now?
10.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah. I started when I was 5 years old.
5 years old. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
You still look okay. You on your profile, look, you put down singing, right? And I want to ask you, what genre what kind of songs do you sing? And have you ever used singing in your Toastmaster speeches like I did?
You know, that's a good question. So when I first started in my career as an inside salesperson, I noticed after 3 or 4 hours on the phone, after doing hundreds of calls a week, my voice wouldn't come out very clear. And I did some research and it said if you take singing lessons, it can help you to speak better.
Okay.
That was the initial driver. But then I found how much fun it is along with playing guitar. And now I sing with my nieces and we have a good time. I did sing a song with a ukulele in one of my speeches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time I need to ask you to show it to me or to sing it to me.
Yeah,
So
I'll
I can
sing.
learn something from you.
I'll play and then you do some Pavarotti.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Now I'd like to invite Arun. Arun. Number 4 is Arun.
Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say Arun, not Arun? I'm sorry. Okay, Arun.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you, Albert?
Good, good. And what club are you in? And how many years have you been a Toastmaster?
I'm a proud member of Oakland City Center Toastmasters. And I've been a member of the Toastmasters org for about 9 years now, 8 or 9 years.
9 years. Wonderful, wonderful. So in your profile, you said, what inspires you the most? I am inspired by single parents. Can you elaborate a little bit more about it?
Yeah. You know, I have 3 kids and, you know, they're young. They're 10, 8, and 4. And as anyone who's a parent can attest, being a parent is a lot of fun. It also can be really hard. So when I think about those parents who are single parents doing it on their own, I'm like, whoa, I could not do that. I would not be able to do that. I don't think I could. And I'm so fortunate to have my wife who's helping in the process, but I just have a lot of respect for people who are raising kids on their own.
Wow, you have a lot of compassion, like the firecrackers. I'm just kidding. Okay, great job. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to invite Jana. Jana, number 5 contestant. Hi, Jana.
Good evening, everyone.
Hi. So what club are you in and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
Tonight, I'm representing Stagecoach Warriors, and I have been Toastmasters for almost 3 years. 3
years. Oh, wonderful. So in your profile, you mentioned that your answer to this question, what inspires you the most? You said change and kindness. Can you give us some examples?
Yes, change is my major force, is my major motivator. And I feel like every time I change something in my life, my life becomes more rich and better. So as an example, when the COVID started, of course, we were all kind of worried. But me and my husband, we decided to embrace this change and relocate from California to Arizona. And we absolutely love it. Even though we miss our friends in California, but we made new friends over here. And we just always feel so great. So yes, change is the major motivation for me.
So you are in Arizona now?
Yes.
Wow, that's interesting. Thank you, thank you. Now I'd like to invite Jeanne. Thank you. Jeanne?
I'm here.
Hi.
Hey.
So what club are you in and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I have the privilege of representing the Sunrise business leaders out of Lafayette, California, and I have been with Toastmasters for 2.5 years.
Wow. And here you said you are a certified coach. And what kind of coaching do you do?
Well, I do both life coaching, one-on-one. I do couples, individual counseling, couples, coaching, and also do training. And so training is one thing I really love.
Okay. What kind of training do you do?
In the DISC model of human behavior. And then I also teach leadership based on John Maxwell's, a lot of his leadership books, because I'm a certified member of the John Maxwell team.
Okay. You mentioned that you're a life coach. So what kind of certification process you have to go through?
Well, it really depends on how you become a life coach, but with the John Maxwell team, you go through a rigorous set of 37 modules to become certified. And then we went to Orlando and went to the conference where we received our certification.
Wow, seems a pretty serious business.
Yeah.
Very good.
Living the dream.
Yep. Way to go. Thank you. Now I'd like to invite Arun Kumar.
Albert.
Hi. Sorry about the my mispronunciation.
No, people, sometimes call me Arun, and that's why I get confused.
Oh,
This is Arun or Arun.
So Arun.
Yes.
What club are you in, and how long have you
I'm a
been?
member of Bioradicals out Hercules, and
It's a corporate club, right?
the corporate club. Yes.
And how long have you been a Toastmaster? You said
It's been almost 5+ years.
5, 6 years.
Five,
Very good, very good. And I look at your favorite quote: 4-7 rise 8. I never heard of it. Can you elaborate a little bit more about it?
More like a Japanese proverb, and they use it more like, my mom's teaching to me that never give up. At the end, you will win if you are not giving up. So giving up is something like you always have faith on yourself. If you fall 7, then you have to learn to rise 8. So always have one winning shot, and that would be your last shot.
Wow, that's a good quote to remember. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And I'd like to invite Harry. Harry, are you here? Hi, Harry.
Hi, Albert. How are you?
Good, good. So Harry, what club are you in, and how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I'm a member of Chamber Chatters. We're in Division H. We meet on Wednesdays, noon to 1. Would love to have any of you come by and say hi to us. I've been a Toastmaster, active Toastmaster, about 10 years now.
10 years. Wonderful. Same as Justin. And here you said your interest, motorbike, and work on your motorbike, and running and work on your motorbike. How do you run with your motorbike?
I can't. Well, now that the remodeling is really truly done, I have more time for my motorbike, but it's just therapeutic. Tearing it apart, putting it back up again has been great. But given the weather that we are fortunate to have in the Bay Area, a great time to just go for a ride and get refreshed. Yes, I love my motorbike.
So it's almost done?
Yes. Yes,
it's done.
Everything is now
So
done.
you are riding it every day. You ride it every day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, I'd like to invite our last contestant, Mike. Mike, are you here? Mike? Okay. Mike, what club are you in, and how long have you been a Toastmaster? Mike, you're muted. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm a proud member of Pittsburgh Speakeasy. We meet Wednesdays at 8:15, previously anchored at the Chamber of Commerce building in Pittsburgh, California.
And how long have you been?
About 3 years now.
3 years? Wonderful. And I love your quote. I'm not overweight. I'm under tall. Can you elaborate a little bit on it?
Well, as we get on in years, we might put on a pound or 2 or 10. And there is this body mass index. You know, if you're this tall, you should weigh this much.
The BMI.
BMI, yes. And it's clear to me that I'm at the perfect weight,
Okay.
but I'm not at the perfect height.
Okay.
I'm working on that.
Okay. Wonderful. Wonderful. We wish you the best luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Albert.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'd like to ask the chief judge or the tech host.
Yeah, Albert.
And do we have the result yet?
Hans is back here. Hans, how did it go? You are muted.
Excuse me, I was on mute. Yes, we do have the results.
Okay, so I think I should turn the meeting over to our contest chair, Wing Lock. Wing Lock, are you here?
Thank you very much, Contest Toastmaster Albert Mo. Fantastic job. Let me talk about what happens from now on. The International Speech Contest begins at the club level and proceeds to the area, division, and district. That's pretty much how the contestants tonight made it through here tonight at the district level. Following the district level speech contest, the videos of each district first place winner are submitted for the regional quarterfinal level. In the district, video records the international speech contest and their district contest in accordance with the contest rulebook. And the video of the first place winners are submitted to World Headquarters within 1 week of the district contest. Now, the contestants didn't mention it, but here's a secret. Contesting is one of the best ways to improve listening and speaking skills. Couldn't you tell? 2, 3, 10 years Toastmasters, and they are performing in front of a camera. Going outside the comfort zone and doing it. I am inspired to compete one day, and because there is a speech contestant inside all of you. Spread the word and jump in if you haven't done so. Compete against yourself. So regardless of placement tonight, we celebrate and congratulate the contestants' achievement. Ray Engan, Doug Shannon, Justin Paras, Aaron Samson, Jana Lannen, Jeanne Schwass, Arun Kumar, Hari Candadai, and Mike Carroll. You all are our inspiration. You hear the fireworks that my neighbors are shooting up? Yeah, thank you. Speaking of thank you, let's thank our volunteers. From the club contest to the World Championship Public Speaking, volunteers organize to make contests happen. The volunteers work hard to celebrate the dedication and the achievement of the speech contestants at each level. We help each other grow in Toastmasters. And these last 2 contest cycles through COVID-19 pandemic not only challenge the contestants, but also the volunteers who work tirelessly in the background to make the contest happen. We were fortunate to learn and receive help from our clubs, but also from other districts. We try our best as volunteers, and while free, their efforts are priceless. I want to recognize these volunteers of this contest. Once again, Contest Toastmaster Albert Mo, who in a few weeks ago did not know that there was a tradition of the past district winner would be asked to be the contest Toastmaster of the same contest that they won. I hope that that was a great learning experience. Also, Sergeant Arms Matthew Sajak, Timer Michael Schwann, and Swana Kaoyan, who is joining us from District 80 in Singapore. Hello, tens of thousands time zones away. Thank you once again. I also want to recognize the great work by technical host David Dye, who has done tirelessly manipulating, spotlighting the contestant just the right way to put the signal and also put the slide shows to us to entertain and inform everyone. I also want to recognize the Chief Judge Hans Storma. We worked from last November or so October. It has been hard work and we are here. Thank you very much for your dedication and for tolerance, leading a team of volunteers, including ballot counter Donna Hopkins, who's also a division director, Kieran Yellen, Jeanne Wang, and of course, we have last count 27 judges tonight. You know who you are, and thank you very much for your service. I'll be sending out certificates via email in the next couple of days. We as volunteers learn as we experience success, and more so, learn from failures in Toastmasters. And speaking of goobs, unfortunately, I didn't misspell, and I apologize. And the team member also noticed that we were introduced to the evaluation contest, which was last week instead of the international speech contest. Great listening skills that we picked up as Toastmasters. Bad script, our bad, sorry. Now, speaking of volunteers, to those who are tiptoeing into various levels of Toastmasters, especially in District 57. Yes, it's that time of the year. We're all looking for volunteers. But don't be afraid of the word leadership. There are rock stars, especially ones who are near and dear to you, whom you'll find, who can share success and grow with you. The team looks forward to share our experience to those who want to learn and to practice. And as we turn the spotlight onto you, your future self will want you to say yes now. So before I turn the contest over to the District Program Quality Director, I want to add spotlights onto my co-chair, Lisa Fairchild and Kate Mills, who's also both served additional district duty, Lisa as the TLI Dean, and also Kate Mills as the Division I Director. The contest went very well because of Lisa and Kate's hard work. I know that they are capable from other Toastmasters volunteer assignment, but also from this year and past year's contests. Overcoming the complexity of the evaluation speech and also the rules of the international speech contest would not have been possible without their dedication, their collective experience, and organization skills. Most importantly, the tolerance of, as the contest chair. The contest team's success based on effective communication, having a good plan A, but also plan B, plan C, and plan D with plenty of practices. I share this spotlight with my co-chairs, Kate Mills and Lisa Fairchild. Thank you for saying yes to be my co-chair, my rock, and my rock stars. As we build on the great work from last year's contest, we look forward to pass our knowledge to our successors to make next year's contest even better. I asked the Program Quality Director, George Marshall, to turn on his video and microphone, and I turn it over to George.
Thank you, Wing, and thank you to everyone. Wing mentioned some of the people. There's a lot of people that make a big event like this happen, and thank you, every single one of you. These are volunteer positions. No one gets paid. No one gets paid in Toastmasters. We just get paid in fellowship and experience learned. We are about to announce the winners of the International Speech Contest. And the International Speech Contest is really special because, as I think Wing mentioned, it goes on. The evaluation contest, we had a great time. We had a great contest, and that's where it stops. For the International Speech Contest, the winner of the district contest goes on to the international competitions, initially the quarterfinals, and the winners of those going on to the semifinals, and eventually the big stage in August at the convention. So it's very significant. The winners tonight, first, second, and third, the first will go on one thing to know is if for some reason the first place winner can't go on, the second place or possibly even the third place will take their place. So the winners of all three are significant. Are you ready to hear the results of the winner? Winners, as I call your name, come on screen, please, and we will give everyone a chance to do a picture, screen capture, and we'll go on. In third place, the third place winner is Justin Paris. Justin, come on stage. All right. Let me go off. Everyone get your picture of Justin. Great job, Justin. Fantastic.
Stay there for a few seconds, Justin. Let me remove George for a few seconds. George, sorry.
Oh, in the spotlight again.
Yeah. Maybe the last but not least chance for tonight. Congratulations,
Right.
Justin.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Justin. In second place of our amazing 9 contestants, we have Ray Engan. Ray, come on stage. Photo op for Ray. Congratulations, Ray. Second place in the district. Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah, screenshot done. Congratulations, Ray.
All right, thank you, Ray. And in first place, Ray will bring you back later. In first place, we have Doug Shannon. Doug, come on up.
Yeah.
Will you play your didgeridoo now?
I'd have to charge you money. I'm sorry. You know, no, it's for your own safety that I will not pick it up.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Congratulations to Doug.
Thank you so much. I am just so thrilled. So honored for all the hard work that everyone's put into this. I'm very grateful. There are 3 ways I'd like to thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Can we have all three top winners come back on the screen, please? All 3 top winners, Justin, Ray. All right. I'll get rid of me. And by the way, these fine trophies that you see will be coming to your mail as soon as I have verified after the contest that we have the right address for you. Congratulations to everyone, gentlemen. You all did a fantastic job.
Yeah, screenshot done.
Everyone got their screenshots? At this point, I'm going to turn it back to our contest chair to see if we have any final announcements to make before we close out the contest.
Would you like to talk about the conference or invite the conference team to talk about the conference?
Do we have a conference team member present?
I have a video from them.
What a coincidence. Why don't you play that, David?
Okay.
Hey, I think you can disappear now if you want to. Oh, hey, we have Steve, one of our co-chairs.
And maybe Steve can talk about live instead of playing video. You are muted, by the way, Steve. You are still muted, Steve.
We have a fabulous conference planned for next Saturday from 9:30 to 1:30. It'll start and it will go very fast, very short introductions, a lot of content. One of the things I want to do is congratulate Doug Shannon and invite him to present his speech live at the conference if you're available. We have a slot set for the winning first speech today, and I would love to have you come, Doug, to present.
I'm in.
All right, so that's going to be a piece of our conference. We will have a ton of great speakers, starting with Dan Rex, the CEO of Toastmasters, giving our conference keynote, and ending with Darren LaCroix, a past world champion, giving a very inspirational speech to conclude our conference. In between, we will have comedy with Ray Engan will be back with a panel of 2 other people that are fabulous, very funny people. They'll be doing a panel. Opposite them, we have a panel on getting ready for hybrid meetings and on winning evaluations. We will have storytellers, Grand Slam Moth winners, 2 of them plus a member of one of my clubs who comes from England, talking about storytelling. Opposite them, we have the organizers of the Sonoma TEDx conference talking about TEDx, followed by a podcasting. So it's going to have some great educational programs, fabulous speakers from the conference as well as from outside. There'll be an awards presentation. There'll be the winning evaluation and target speaker. Doug has consented to give his speech live again. It's going to be fast moving 4 hours that will be really entertaining. Tickets are only $10. If you buy group tickets with 4 people, they're only $8 a person, and you will get value from this program like no other. Back to you.
All right, George. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you very much, Steve, for the announcement. And I would want to make sure that you see additional chat messages for the business meeting and also the conference registration link that will be pasted later on. But at this time, it is again a night to celebrate the contestants. To those who have left and who can turn on your video, please turn on the video to celebrate with our speech contestants. Great job on tonight and for your Toastmasters education journey. And we hope to see more of you next year on these stages, but all start from your clubs.
Everyone, please go to the gallery view. You can see everyone here.
Congratulations, everyone. Great job.
Great job. Congratulations.
Let me take a screenshot here in the gallery view.
The actual fireworks shooting and firecrackers in my neighborhood. I'm not kidding.
And thank you to all that joined us from across the lands and seas. We're glad to have you.
You can stay on it for as long as you want, but at least from District 57 Toastmasters in California, we bid you good night. The contest is now adjourned. Thank you very much for attending tonight's contest. Congratulations to all the winners and all the contestants from Club Onward.
Great job, Wayne. Great job, Albert, and everyone. Lisa, Kate, every single one of you.
Fun to work with everyone.
All the volunteers, all the participants, everyone.